Internet. So one of the podcasts I discovered this year is one called But That's Another Story. It's these really wonderful interviews and insights into creative types of people, mostly authors, talking about the books that they hold most dear and how they affected them. And in the most recent episode that I was listening to, the host of the show was talking about the fact that sometimes it takes reading a book at the right time for it to have the most impact. And it's something I could not agree more with. As I was listening to this podcast, one of the first authors and stories that came to mind as an example of reading the right book at the right time for me was Susan Dennard. You might know her as the author of the Truthwitch series, The Witchlanders, but I first became introduced to her with her previous series, Something Strange and Deadly. Now, I'm going to admit, when I first started picking up Something Strange and Deadly, I won an advanced reader's copy of it, and I tried, and it just, something wasn't jiving with me. Even though I read the description, it sounded like everything I would be all about. It was historical zombie fighters, and there was this steampunk element, and the research that Susan did was completely seamless into the integration of the worlds that she built with all of this paranormal urban fantasy. But it was not hitting the mark, and I could not put a finger on it for the life of me. But rather than giving up on the book and marking it as did not finish, I put it down for a while. And sure enough, a couple of months later, I found myself intrigued again, and that time I absolutely inhaled it. Couldn't get enough, and it's such a wonderfully thoughtful and well-constructed series. And because I gave that book a chance, it opened me to Susan's wonderful creative brain, and The Witchlanders is a series that I have come to adore so much, and I was even lucky enough to arrange to have Susan come to speak at one of my previous schools that I worked at, and she was a huge hit. So there's definitely something to be said for timing. So if you find yourself reading a book and it's not jiving, before you give up on it, ask yourself, is it that this book isn't for me, or is it that this book isn't for me right now? I highly encourage you to just take a minute, take a beat, and think about the answer to that question, because you might be missing out on something that really, really blows your mind. So that's just a random thought I've been having the last couple of days. Are there any books or series out there that you almost gave up on and then turned out to be favorites? I would love to hear about them in the comments. All of my usual links are down below. Comments are always welcome, and that's it for me for now. Take care. Bye! I am currently reading Lethal White by Robert Galbraith, and if you like what you've seen here today, please like and please subscribe for more.